Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room and instantly capture everyone's attention without saying a single word? They don't raise their voice. They don't interrupt others. They don't try to prove how important they are. Yet somehow, everyone naturally notices them. People look at them, listen when they speak, and respect them without even realizing why. Most people believe this is something you're either born with or you'll never have. They call it charisma, aura, natural confidence, or simply good energy. But psychology tells a completely different story. Before you even say your first word, your body has already started communicating with everyone around you. The way you stand, the way you walk, your eye contact, your facial expressions, and even the way you breathe sends silent messages to other people. Within just a few seconds, the human brain begins building a first impression. Without realizing it, people start asking themselves questions like, can I trust this person? Do they seem confident? Are they emotionally in control? All of this happens before a real conversation even begins. That's why two people can wear the same clothes, have similar appearances, and even say the exact same words, yet leave completely different impressions. One naturally earns respect, while the other struggles to be noticed. The difference isn't always intelligence, money, or appearance. More often, it's the invisible signals they communicate through their behavior. Many people spend years trying to become more interesting. They search for the perfect words, learn conversation tricks, and constantly worry about what others think of them. Ironically, this often makes them appear less confident. The harder you chase attention, the harder it becomes to keep it. But people who are comfortable with themselves don't need to ask for attention. They naturally attract it. Some people describe this as energy. Others call it presence or aura. Whatever you choose to call it, one thing is certain. Your inner emotional state shapes the way the world sees you. Psychology explains that people unconsciously read your body language, tone of voice, emotional control, and even tiny facial movements long before they judge your words. In this video, you'll discover powerful psychological principles, body language techniques, practical habits, and mindset shifts that can completely change the way people perceive you. By the end, you'll understand why true confidence isn't about being louder than everyone else. It's about mastering yourself first. Once you do that, respect becomes something you naturally attract instead of something you constantly chase. So, if you're ready to understand why some people command respect without saying a word, let's begin. If you want people to respect you, the first thing you need to understand is this. Confidence is not something you say, it's something people feel. You can repeat positive affirmations every morning, wear expensive clothes, or memorize clever conversation techniques. But if your body language tells a different story, people will believe your body before they believe your words. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying too hard to be liked. They laugh at everything, speak too fast, explain themselves too much, and constantly look for approval. Without realizing it, these behaviors communicate uncertainty. The more desperately you seek validation, the less confident you appear. Confident people behave differently. They don't rush their movements. They don't feel the need to fill every moment of silence. They listen carefully before speaking, and when they do speak, their words are calm, clear, and intentional. This doesn't mean they're better than everyone else. It simply means they have learned to control themselves before trying to influence others. Another powerful principle in psychology is emotional control. Imagine two people facing the exact same situation. One immediately becomes frustrated, anxious, or defensive. The other stays calm, thinks before reacting, and remains emotionally balanced. Which one would you naturally trust more? In most cases, your brain chooses the calm person without even thinking about it. This is because people often associate emotional stability with strength and reliability. Remaining calm doesn't mean hiding your emotions. It means learning not to let your emotions control your actions. Every time you respond instead of react, you strengthen the image people build of you. Your posture also plays a much bigger role than most people realize. Standing tall, keeping your shoulders relaxed, maintaining natural eye contact, and moving with purpose don't just change how others see you, they slowly change how you see yourself. Your body and your mind constantly influence each other. The interesting part is that these habits don't require perfect genetics, wealth, or social status. Anyone can develop them with enough awareness and practice. The people who seem naturally charismatic are often simply people who have mastered these small behaviors over time. Confidence is built through small daily actions, not overnight transformation. From this moment on, start paying attention to the silent messages you're sending every day. Because long before people remember your words, they'll remember how your presence made them feel. And that feeling is often far more powerful than anything you could ever say. In the next part, we'll explore the hidden psychological habits that instantly make people appear more attractive, influential, and unforgettable. Now here's something most people never realize: the way others treat you is often a reflection of the signals you send about yourself. If you constantly doubt your own value, people can sense that uncertainty without you ever saying it. But when you genuinely respect yourself, that attitude quietly influences the way others respond to you. Psychologists often talk about emotional contagion, the idea that emotions can spread from one person to another. If you enter a room feeling anxious, your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice will subtly communicate that feeling. But if you remain calm, grounded, and emotionally balanced, people around you are more likely to feel comfortable in your presence. This is one of the hidden reasons why emotionally stable people often become natural leaders. People may not always remember your words, but they almost always remember how you made them feel. Another habit that separates confident people from everyone else is patience. They don't rush to answer every question. They don't interrupt conversations just to be heard. Instead, they take a brief moment to think before speaking. Surprisingly, this small pause makes their words sound more valuable. Silence, when used correctly, creates authority. Sometimes, saying less leaves a much stronger impression than saying too much. Calmness allows people to focus on your words instead of your emotions. There is also a psychological principle known as scarcity. People naturally value things that seem rare. The same idea applies to attention. If you're always available, always seeking approval, and constantly trying to entertain everyone, your presence becomes ordinary. But when you protect your time, respect your own boundaries, and speak only when you have something meaningful to say, people begin to appreciate your attention even more. They start to see your time and your opinion as something valuable. This doesn't mean becoming cold, arrogant, or distant. True confidence has nothing to do with looking down on others. The most respected people are often the kindest. They simply don't sacrifice their self-respect in order to be accepted. They know that not everyone has to like them, and they're completely at peace with that. Your habits also shape your presence more than you might think. The books you read, the people you spend time with, the content you consume every day, and the conversations you choose slowly build the person you're becoming. Confidence is built through hundreds of small decisions repeated over time. So before trying to change the way the world sees you, start by changing the way you see yourself. Because the strongest presence doesn't come from pretending to be powerful. It comes from becoming someone who no longer needs to prove their worth to anyone. There's another habit that quietly separates respected people from everyone else. They don't react to everything. Most people allow every opinion, every criticism, and every small inconvenience to control their emotions. As a result, they spend their lives reacting instead of leading. But people with a strong presence understand that not every situation deserves a response. One of the greatest forms of confidence is emotional discipline. Just because someone disrespects you doesn't mean you have to argue. Just because someone doubts you doesn't mean you have to prove them wrong. Sometimes, walking away is far more powerful than winning an argument. Self-control is often mistaken for weakness, when in reality, it is one of the clearest signs of strength. The strongest people are not those who can control everyone around them. They are the ones who can control themselves. Psychology also shows that people tend to respect those who have clear boundaries. If you say yes to everything, ignore your own needs, and constantly put others before yourself, people eventually begin to take your kindness for granted. But when you respectfully protect your time, your energy, and your values, others naturally begin to respect them as well. Healthy boundaries don't push people away. They teach others how they should treat you. Another important principle is consistency. Anyone can appear confident for a few minutes, but very few people can maintain that confidence every single day. Your habits, your discipline, and the promises you keep to yourself shape your identity far more than motivation ever will. Every time you do what you said you would do, you strengthen your self-respect. Over time, these small victories build an unshakable sense of confidence that no outside opinion can easily destroy. This is why truly influential people focus less on changing other people's opinions and more on improving themselves. They understand that respect cannot be demanded, bought, or forced. It is earned through actions repeated over time. Every calm decision, every disciplined habit, and every moment of self-control adds another layer to your character. Remember, people are always observing more than they are listening. They notice your patience, your confidence under pressure, the way you treat others, and the way you handle difficult situations. These small moments reveal your true character far more than impressive words ever could. Your actions become your reputation long before your achievements do. So instead of asking, "How can I make people respect me?" ask yourself a different question. How can I become someone who naturally deserves respect? Once you begin living that answer every day, the way people see you will slowly begin to change, and more importantly, the way you see yourself will change forever. At the end of the day, the way people see you is never determined by a single moment. It's the result of the choices you make every day, the way you think, the habits you build, the emotions you control, and the standards you set for yourself slowly become the person the world sees. Many people spend their entire lives waiting for confidence to appear before they take action. But confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Every difficult conversation you face, every fear you overcome, and every promise you keep to yourself builds another layer of self-respect. Over time, that self-respect becomes confidence, and confidence becomes presence. Remember, you don't need to be the loudest person in the room to become the most respected. You don't need everyone's approval to know your worth. The strongest people are often the quietest because they have nothing to prove. They understand that real power comes from discipline, emotional control, patience, and having a clear purpose in life. Starting today, challenge yourself to make one small improvement every single day. Stand a little taller, speak a little slower, listen more carefully, keep your promises to yourself. Stop chasing validation and start building the version of yourself that you would genuinely respect. Small actions repeated consistently can completely transform your future. Always remember that you're greatest. Competition isn't the people around you, it's the person you were yesterday. If you become just a little better every day, the results over time will be impossible to ignore. Success is built through small decisions that most people are unwilling to make consistently. Years from now, people probably won't remember the clothes you wore or the exact words you said, but they will remember your calmness, your confidence under pressure, and the quiet strength you carried wherever you went. That kind of influence cannot be bought or faked. It is earned through consistency and the discipline to keep improving even when nobody is watching. So don't let these words become just another video you watched. Let them become the reason you finally decide to change. Start today, not tomorrow. The perfect moment will never come. Your future begins with the decisions you make right now. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you want to become. If these words inspired you, don't let them remain just motivation. Turn them into daily discipline. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about psychology, self-improvement, body language, and powerful mental habits, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching. Stay confident, stay disciplined, believe in yourself, and never stop becoming the strongest version of yourself.